Well, good evening, good night, good morning, depending on what part of the world you're in. I am RC Blakes, and I want to welcome you to another Let's Talk with RC Blakes. Please invite some others to come in and to be a part. Share this. If you appreciate the content, please like it. All of that helps the algorithm. If you're visiting us and you like the content, subscribe to the channel, join the community. Those of you that have been on the fence about becoming a part of the Royal Court community, get off the fence and get in the game. Tonight we're talking about why a woman, 5 reasons I've listed here, why women marry or settle for a man's potential over that man's actual product or proof. So many women see the potential in a man and race to commitment, race to doing all of the things for a man simply based on his potential. What she sees he can possibly be. And for some reason, she thinks that that is enough. That's what we're talking about tonight. I want you to invite some others to come in and tell them we're here. And the conversation has begun. Let's get into it tonight. Because the concept of a man's potential is one of the most seductive, and actually it's one of the most perilous traps in modern dating. Potential. You know, the whole concept of dating as we know it today is relatively new in terms of humanity. There was a time when a man would court a woman under the stewardship, the auspices, the guidance of the families. The families would determine if this man is from a suitable family. The family of the man would determine if the woman is from a suitable family. And they would date under the guidance of wiser others. But today, the family dynamic is eliminated, and we're in this thing called dating, and women are not vetting men. And well, it goes both ways, actually. I mean, it's more perilous for a woman than it is for a man in most cases. Sometimes men really make some choices that absolutely destroy their lives. But women are not typically vetting men, and women are dating potential without proof. Even Ronald Reagan said, "Trust but verify." It's a future tense fantasy that can blind a woman to a present tense reality, potential. It's a future tense fantasy that can blind a woman to a present tense reality. Oh, he has the potential to be a doctor, a lawyer, a businessman, an entrepreneur. But the reality is, he's a man doing absolutely nothing right now. He's a man that has no motivation, no initiative, no drive, no vision. But the potential is that he can be, and so that fantasy blinds the woman to that fantasy of what he could potentially be in the future, blinds the woman to what he actually is in the present reality. And so as the analogy goes, you cannot build a house on the blueprint alone. you need a foundation. And so it is a woman who will invest herself in potential alone is investing in a blueprint that may never be built, leaving her emotionally and often financially bankrupt. So I want to ask you a question tonight, today. Are you settling for potential alone? Where are you at with this in this situation? Where are you at with it? Are you in your present situation? Are you settling for potential, or is there some fruit on the vine? Let's jump into this. 5 things that I've listed here that I believe is leading women into 5 things that are leading women into falling for the potential of a man rather than the product of the man. Number 1, okay, here it is, number 1 on my list. This is my list, so I can make it any way I want to make it, right? Number 1, the scarcity mindset. The scarcity mindset. It's the thing that irritates me the most in my dealings and workings with women, is when women say to me, there are no good men, RC. I'm settling because all of the good men are taken. So a scarcity mindset, listen to this very well. A scarcity mindset is a cognitive distortion that convinces us that resources are limited and that we must grab what we can, even if it's subpar, for fear of getting nothing. And so when a woman internalizes the cultural narrative that all the good men are taken, she operates from a place of fear and desperation. This anxiety narrows her vision, causing her to see every man, watch this, with just a hint of promise as her last chance. I just read your mail. She stops evaluating what is and starts clinging to what could be, sacrificing her standards at the altar of her fears. Because this may be my last chance. The scarcity mindset, I believe, is the number 1 cause of modern women settling for men with mere potential and nothing else. Now, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I am not saying that a woman should wait for a man that's 100% put together. I am absolutely not saying that. If he were 100% put together, God would not have said he needed a wife to help him. But I am saying that a woman should consider a man that does not only have potential, but has some proof that he is moving in the direction of his potential. There are many women out here who are settling for men who have no proof of any forward momentum. All because you believe this is your last chance and he happens to be 6 feet tall with a 6-pack. Praise the Lord. Don't shout me down because I'm preaching good. Philippians 4:19 says, and my God will meet all your needs according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. I am convinced. I was saying on the private Zoom call with the Royal Court community Sunday evening, that most women, I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Most women have never actually trusted God to provide a mate for them. Most women have not. And then you say, oh, there are no good men. Most women have never trusted God to supply their need. A woman operating in scarcity has functionally eliminated faith in divine provision from her process. And she believes the provision of a good man is up to her alone, leading to anxious and unwise choices. Matthew Hussey says this, don't let the fear of being alone, listen to this, this is powerful. He says, don't let the fear of being alone pressure you into being with someone who makes you feel lonely. You know, the loneliest people in the world are those who are sleeping in the bed next to someone every night. The scarcity mindset creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where the fear of being alone leads to settling for a relationship that feels profoundly lonely. You settle for a man with potential, no proof, no character, no motivation, no vision, and you're settling because somebody made you believe if you don't have a man on your arm, you're deficient, something's wrong with you, you're broken. Number 2, I only have 5. Why do women, RC, why do women marry men with potential or settle for men with potential alone? Number 2, it's a self-worth issue. The woman settles for a man with mere potential because in her heart she feels unfinished herself. So subconsciously or maybe even consciously, she is comfortable with a man that is not complete or unfinished because she knows within herself she's unfinished. She's not applied herself. This point strikes at the heart of the self-concept. A woman who has not pursued her own goals, has not healed her wounds, or built a life she loves inherently lacks the confidence to hold out for a partner who reflects her highest aspirations. So she's comfortable with a guy with potential because they're kind of like on the same level. Maybe they are equally yoked. She subconsciously believes, watch this, this is all I deserve, because she herself has not yet become what she aspires to be. So therefore, she settles for a man's potential because it mirrors her own unrealized and full of maybe someday realities. Mark 12:31 says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. It's impossible for you to love your neighbor more than you love yourself. You gotta love the life you've built to expect, or love someone else on a level that would pour into that kind of self-actualized life. But if you feel like your life, you're not self-actualizing, you're going to what? Find someone on a level who also is not self-actualized. So a lot of times you're settling for, you're crying about, I married a man with only potential. And the reality is he's a reflection of you, because you haven't done what you should have done with the gifts God has given you. So when you look at Mark 12:31, this commandment, love your neighbor as yourself, presupposes a healthy foundational love for self. A woman who has not actualized herself struggles to extend that same grace and expectation to others, leading her to accept less than she is called to. Iyanla Van Zandt says, the most important relationship you have is with yourself. Until you know who you are and what you have to offer, you cannot possibly know what you need from a partner. So the woman that settles for a man with mere potential is quite often a woman who has not moved beyond her potential to actualize it. And so you really have like two peas in a pod. Number 3, I think I'm going to be very brief tonight. Why do women settle for mere potential, RC? Why do women just settle for a man's potential? No proof of anything, just potential. Okay, I'll answer since you asked. Number 3, the woman has idolized relationships or idolized marriage. And so she sees her relationship to a man as the truest metric of her worth. Because in her mind, she has made a god of relationships. And so many cultures, when you think about it, many cultures and social circles implicitly teach women that their primary value is derived from their relational status. I mean, that's even true in the church. We teach it indirectly. When we say to our young women that come and say, well, I just graduated and I got my PhD, or I just launched a 8-figure business. I just donated $100,000 to the feeding program. And the next question we say, oh, that's nice. When you get married? Well, what is that? What is that? What is that? That's one of the ways society even uses religion. Sometimes, most of the time even, people are not intentionally trying to wound or hurt, but they are, nonetheless, rather. When you get married, as though we don't view you as a success in life until you get married. And so this pressure from society causes the woman to what? Idolize the concepts of relationship, and it turns into a by any means necessary kind of mission for the woman. Because when a woman idolizes relationships or marriage, she makes it the ultimate source of her validation. So she doesn't even feel good about herself if she doesn't have a man, even if the man she got is functionally a grown boy or child. Long as she has a fully physically developed masculine frame next to her, she does not feel validated. She doesn't feel authentic. She doesn't feel accomplished. Forget all of the degrees. Forget all of the, the career accomplishments, the businesses she's built, the missions that she sponsors. Forget all of that. This makes her, watch this, when a woman has this mindset where she idolizes relationships and marriage, this makes her chronological age a tyrant, whispering in her ear that her time is running out. The clock is ticking, the clock is ticking, and the thought, watch this, here it is, the thought, a piece of a man is better than none at all, rings loudly in her head. And it is a symptom of this idolatry. It prioritizes the label of being in a relationship over the quality of the relationship itself. So it doesn't matter what the quality of the relationship is. As long as I have one, I just want folk to see me with one. It may be horrible. I may be miserable. I may have just the semblance of a man. But I got a man. Bible says this in Genesis 2:18. The Lord God said, it's not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. So companionship is a gift. You don't just need somebody, sleeping in the bed with you. You need a companion, suitable. Wow. You need somebody suitable. Our primary worth is found in being, watch this, image bearers of God. Image bearers of God. One that is suitable is one that's going to look like God, one that's going to match your purpose, one that's going to fit into your life, one that's going to push and move your life forward, not just somebody as a placeholder, as a masculine placeholder, masquerading as a husband, masquerading as a man, all because you've idolized relationship to the point that the quality of it does not matter as much as the possession of a physical masculine frame. Friend of mine, Stefan Speaks, says a relationship should be a complement to your life, not the center of it. Oh, I love that. When it becomes the center, you lose yourself and become dependent on its existence for your happiness. So I say this, man. I say this all of the time, and I mean it. If you're not happy without a relationship, you're not ready for a relationship. If you need a relationship, if you feel like you need a relationship, you know what? You don't need a relationship. You don't need a relationship until you don't need a relationship. The people that need a relationship are people that don't need relationships. They are so God-centered, and they are so self-actualized that they are completely happy and fulfilled within themselves, that if they never ever walked an aisle, walked down some aisle, or never ever had a man or woman, they would live their best lives as individuals. If you cannot find a path to being completely happy and fulfilled by yourself, you have not finished the work of your individuality. Therefore, you are not a candidate for partnership. Because there has to be a complete you to make us. Right? There got to be a me before there can be a we. And if you've idolized relationships or marriage to the point that you've forsaken your own self-development, your own personal happiness, your own personal fulfillment as an individual, you, my friend, my sister, my brother, are not a candidate for partnership. Go sit down somewhere. Take several of those seats in the back. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Y'all can't see my missionary. She back there. See over there? She's shouting for me now. I got a new angle tonight. All right. I only have 5 and I'm on number 4. So y'all got to learn to come in on time. Number 4. I don't know how this word is pronounced, but I'll try to pronounce it, but it speaks to the point I'm making here. Why RC? Why are women settling for a man's potential alone? Okay, here it is in plain English. Many times the woman settles for the man who only has potential because she has a selfish agenda to shape him in or mold him in her own image. She wants to make him into what she wants him to be. And there's this term, Pygmalion, Pygmalion, I suppose you might call it. And it speaks of, a mindset that says, I can fix him. Rooted in a mixture of compassion and arrogance. A woman sees the raw material in a man and believes with her, watch this, with her love and guidance, she can sculpt him into her masterpiece. And this dynamic is psychologically dangerous. It places her in the role of, watch this, parent or project manager. She really wasn't looking for a husband or a man. She was looking for a project. So she found a little man whose potential lied dormant that she could take under her wing, and now she can shape him in whatever image she chooses to shape him in. She becomes his parent. She becomes his project manager. Now, the man may feel, listen to this very carefully, the man may feel controlled, probably even emasculated, which leads to what? Resentment. Or she may find a man that happily takes her resources with no intention of changing, leaving her used and discarded. He may be slicker than her. She thinks she got her little man she can shape and do what she want to do with, but the player getting played by the game. He got a mind to just use her for everything that she dishing out. And once he gets to where he want to go, once he gets out of her what he wants to get, he moves on. Now she's crying, I've been ghosted. You knew this wasn't your man from the beginning. You knew this was not a man from the beginning. This is a distortion of the helper role that God calls the woman, the ezokenegdo, the helper suitable. A helper supports a man's God-given vision, not her own. The helper does not shape the man into what she desires him to be. The helper supports the man into becoming what God ordained the man to be. 1 Peter 3:1 and 2 talks about winning over a husband, how a woman A wife wins over a husband without words, by her conduct, and not by relentless molding and instruction, but by her godly conduct. Dr. Henry Cloud, Dr. John Townsend in Boundaries state this: you can't change people. The only person you can change is yourself. When you set boundaries, you are changing your response to their behavior, which may in turn influence them to change, but the change is still their choice. You can't go and take a little man with potential and think you're going to mold him into your perfect little man. You can't change people. You're not God. You're not the creator. You're not the maker. And then number 5, and I'm out of here. Can y'all believe it? Oh, Lord, I got 6. I thought I had 5. Yeesh. I be writing too much. Number 5. Maybe I'm not going as fast as I thought it was. Why, RC, why do women fall for a man's potential alone? Now, she wants to build a man to sustain a man. This is a more calculated version of the last thing we just talked about in 4. Here, the woman isn't just trying to fix a man. She is trying to orchestrate his entire rise for her own benefit or sense of purpose. She invests, watch this, her energy, her drive, strategies, and resources to build him up. And the tragic irony is that the very energy required to build him is the energy that will make it impossible to respect him. The very energy that is required to build this man is the very thing that's going to make it impossible for her to respect him. She soon resents the passive, dependent creature she has created, longing for the masculine strength she had to provide herself to mold him into whatever he might become. This is what we call the controller's curse. Women, you little women that want to just control a man, you're just making a fool of yourself. Really, sweetheart? I'm just looking at you. You're just making a complete fool of yourself. You just controlling a man, just controlling, and the man letting you control him, and you just pushing this thing, just constantly pushing this thing on down the road. Well, you're going to get to a point where your little feminine capacity is going to run out, and you're going to need a grown, masculine man, and he ain't going to be there. This is the controller's curse, because you married potential. You did not marry fruit. You did not marry product. You married potential. Galatians 6:5 says, for each one should carry his or her own load. Bear your own burden. Another friend of mine, Tony Gaskins, says, a woman's love can't make a man love himself. And if he doesn't love himself, he can't properly love her. You cannot build a man's self-worth for him. It is an internal project. Is this making sense to you all? All right. Now, number 6. Now I'm done for real. Maybe that was all actually. Maybe all of that I just talked about the last 10 minutes. Maybe all that was 5. But number 6, and finally, for real this time. Oh, wow. Buckle your seatbelt. Buckle your seatbelt. I'm throwing Mike Tyson's in here. I'm throwing bolos. Check your chin. Check your chin. Number 6. Why does the woman settle for potential RC? Okay. Especially, I'm going to say this right here, especially when a woman gets to midlife, a woman will settle for a man's potential over actual fruit or product or proof for mere sexual gratification. For mere sexual gratification. He can be dumb as a box of rocks. He ain't got to have no vision, no purpose. You ready to pay to play. You ready to be sugar mama all day. All you want out the deal is a strong back. And I'm going to shut it right there. That's all you want out the deal. It's the midlife, I call it the midlife compromise, where you've given up on all things that really matter because you just want sexual, intimate gratification. So you don't care what he does. You ready to just take all your retirement, pay for it. It's terrible. Y'all think I'm joking, but it's happening out here. It's happening out here. For some women in middle age, after the end of a long relationship or period of loneliness, the primary driver becomes physical intimacy and the comfort of touch. Now, the sad part about this touch is that the more you allow this kind of touch, you become more and more out of touch with yourself and with God. But in this context, a man's potential becomes a convenient excuse to engage in a relationship that is, at its core, about fulfilling a physical and emotional need for connection. You don't care nothing about he's not mastered his potential. He got potential. That's why I'm with him. He got, but no, you not with him because he got potential. You with him because he got something else. She overlooks his lack of present tense substance because he provides the immediate gratification of companionship and sex. This is a compromise of the whole self. Let me read this again. This is a compromise of the whole self for the temporary solace of a part. You're going to sacrifice your soul. You're going to sacrifice your spirit. You're going to sacrifice your mental health, your physical health, all because you want that tingling. So you settle for a man with potential because he provides other stuff. 1 Corinthians 6:13 says, the body, however, is not for sexual immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. So this elevates, when you look at this text here, this elevates physical intimacy beyond a mere biological urge, framing it as part of a holistic covenantal partnership between you and God, and then between you, God, and your would-be partner. Threefold cord is not easily broken. Know that text? Esther Perel, a psychotherapist, says the erotic is an antidote to death. The desperate pursuit of passion in middle life can sometimes be a reaction to mortality and a desire to feel alive, leading to choices that neglect long-term wellness for short-term vitality. Because I feel alive. That's what they say when they, when they do what they do. and maybe they hadn't done it in a long time, and they get a chance to do it, to say, I feel alive. I feel alive. Yeah, you may feel alive in the center region of your anatomy, but your spirit dead. Your soul is slowly dying. You getting further and further out of touch with who you really are and who the master created you to be for what, 3 minutes? You settling for this man who's got nothing, I mean, nothing to show to say that this man is ordained of God, this man. Come on now. I got a friend of mine. Lord have mercy, Jesus. I ain't calling no names, dare call no name, but I got a friend of mine whose mother is around my mother's age, in her 80s. In her 80s. And then married some man. Come on now. All right. The man ain't doing nothing but just spending money, bringing nothing to the table. I'm gonna tell you now, you don't want to go out as a fool. You don't want to go out as a fool. You don't want to be the woman that when you leave out of the room, everybody bursts out in laughter because you're the only one that don't know you are the joke. If you can't have a man that's ordained of God, that God sent to you, that's going to honor you and be a real life partner, a purpose partner, don't go out, don't make a clown of yourself. Don't make after having lived a life so well, you're going to end it with making a clown of yourself, letting somebody dumb as a box of rocks make a fool of you. Come on now. You smarter than that. You're deeper than that. Oh, Lord, y'all make me work so hard. Listen, I've enjoyed my time with you today, and I pray that you've gotten something out of what I've had to share with you today. Please share this with others, and let me pray for you. God, I thank you now for just the spirit of wisdom. I thank you that the enemy will no longer deceive and manipulate and manage, but I thank you for wisdom taking over in the hearts and in the minds and in the lives of every person under the sound of my voice. And God, where we've made mistakes, forgive us and correct us and give us the courage to change. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Listen, if you need counseling, look in the description. There's a link for BetterHelp Counseling. And many of you do need counseling. And the thing I love about BetterHelp is that you can talk to somebody on the phone. You ain't got to be sitting in nobody's office. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's a great, but there's some people who have anxiety about even sitting in front of someone. Why don't you start with a format like this where you can just talk and people can help you process some of the things that you're trying to deal with. If you use the link in the description for BetterHelp Counseling and engage that link, it will afford you 10% off of the cost of their counseling, and they in turn will make a deposit into RC Blakes Ministries because I recommended them. If you've not joined the Royal Court, you should. We're having some amazing discussions. We have a whole playlist that's just for Royal Court members on YouTube that I put all of our previous messages and other messages on that playlist. You can join the Zoom call with the ladies from all over the world, Australia, England, Africa. I mean, they're from everywhere, all over the United States of America, the Caribbean. Yeah, and it's really nothing. It's just a way for you to really support the ministry and just trying to build a community. So if you've not joined the Royal Court, you should do that tonight. Thanks to the best moderators in the world for always doing an amazing job. I love you all. Thanks to any of you that might have sown into our lives tonight. Lisa and I love you with all of our hearts. Go to Amazon, pick up all of our books. at Amazon or go to rcblakesstore.com. Pick up all of the books. You can pick up all of the sweaties, the sweatshirts, the hoodies, the t-shirts, the OK shirts, the on top going higher shirts. You can get all of that right there at rcblakesstore.com. And I'm looking forward. We're on our way to South Africa this Sunday. However, I will be at the New Home Houston location this Sunday morning. We'll be catching the plane after service. And those of you that are in the Houston, Texas area, I invite you to meet us. We're in a series entitled How to Pray. I'm going to teach you how to pray for the rest of this year. And in fact, I'm launching a 31-day prayer challenge, and I'll be informing you about it. Every day, and Sunday we'll be talking more about it. And hey man, listen, I love you. I'm R.C. Blakes. I don't know what else I need to talk about, but I know this. You're on top. You're going higher. In Jesus' name. I love you.
My queen, my queen. Oh, she. Beautiful, wonderfully made. She's heaven's angel. So strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, the backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. The true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah. Where would we be without you? You brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, yeah, and Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. You better treat her like a queen. Oh, Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying back to work, 'cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails.